Welcome live to Game 2 of Night 1 of the City League, the first men's game of this 2025 summer season. We have Big Brothers, Big Sisters in purple and Elevate Indianapolis in orange. And Elevate Indy is going to win the tip. And straight out of the gate here, a 20-minute first half. We see an out-of-bounds called there as we had Bo Hearns handling the basketball. And he will inbound for Elevate Indy. Elevate Indy, the team in orange, receives the inbound. It's Shane Hanslin, shot up and through for Elevate straight away, and a 3-0 lead as Big Brothers Big Sisters now takes control of the basketball. It is Hunter White with the rock at the top of the key, works his way inside and finds the pass to Josh Price. Price takes a deep shot. Was his foot over the line? Not quite sure. They're going to give him three, and it's a 3-3 tie. Ron Patterson, the team captain for Elevate, holding the basketball. He passes it off back to Xavier Turner. Xavier Turner has been spoken about as a possible MVP candidate, and he shows off his skills handling the basketball, and Ron Patterson launches a three from the other end. That one's off the mark. Big Brothers Big Sisters will work the other way. There's Josh Price, who turns it over. Elevate Indy working the other direction. Up, under, and through is the shot from Xavier Turner in transition. It is a 5-3 lead now for Elevate Indy. 18:38 left to go in the first half. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hunter White holding the basketball, working inside, runs out of room, kicks it out. Shot is up and just off from Dominic Washington. Elevate now working right to left. Deep shot is just off the mark from Xavier Turner, but some early shots coming up from Xavier Turner, Zach, as Elevate Indy looks to take an early lead.
Yeah, you can kind of see why the Marion University Knight is considered to be one of the favorites to potentially win MVP this summer.
And here is Big Brothers Big Sisters now. Again, nearly turning it over. This time there is a foul called. That will go on number 23, Donovan Carlisle, for Elevate. And it's going to be Josh Brewer now, inbounding for Big Brothers Big Sisters in purple. Jeremy Tyler holds the basketball at the top of the key. He's closely defended by Patterson, and he sneaks by, crashes to the glass, up, under, and through, ties up the ball game. Elevate Indy pushing the pace back the other way. And there is a tough blocking foul called as Donovan Carlisle was headed to the rack.
A lot of talent on this floor right now. You're seeing it. I expect we'll probably see a rather up-tempo style of game, a lot of three-point shots, similar to what we saw in the first game of the night.
It'll be team captain Ron Bus Patterson inbounding the basketball, and it is just poked away there by Big Brothers Big Sisters. We will reset with 17 minutes left to go in the first half of this one. Ron Patterson to inbound. Dominic Washington, his hands are in front, and we're again going to have a mishap on the inbounds. Team captain guarding team captain here. Patterson launches, turns the ball over once again. Big Brothers Big Sisters working the other way in transition, pushing the pace. It's Price up and the foul. Count it. It's a 7-5 lead on a trip to the free throw line for Josh Price.
Josh Price, lightning in transition. The Indianapolis native played at Southern Indiana. He was fantastic there. Made a lot of his living rim running, getting to the basket, finishing hard just like that. He's got a chance at three here upcoming at the line. Great finish through the contact.
And Josh Price will complete the three-point play. It's Xavier Turner handling the basketball, working the other direction, right to left. He passes it off to the perimeter, and that wing three just off the mark from Shane Hanslin. And now Big Brothers Big Sisters pushing the pace back the other way again getting inside with a foul call is going to be Jeremy Tyler. And Jeremy Tyler really showing off the success that these guards are likely to have in this game for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Andrew, you can already see tempo, up-tempo, fast-pace offense is the name of the game for Big Brothers Big Sisters. They have 3, 4, 5 even guards out there that can all handle the ball and can all finish through contact like that.
And once again, the three-point play is completed. Big Brothers Big Sisters takes an 11-5 lead now. Xavier Turner working inside, and that shot effortlessly contested And here's Big Brothers Big Sisters in transition, going to reset the offense, put up a three from the wing. That one's just off the back iron. And it's Ron Patterson now working the other way. Team captain hands it off to Shane Hanslin on the left wing. Back to Patterson. And now Elevate will take a shot elevating from the corner. That one's off the front of the rim. And now it's Big Brothers Big Sisters working the other way. Turn the ball over in transition. Here's Patterson with the basketball once again, rumbling to the rim, off the glass and through to cut the deficit now down to 4. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters working in the other direction. Slowing the pace now, it is Hunter White at the point guard position. He hands it off to Josh Price. Price launches from 3. That one just off the front of the rim, and Elevate Indy working the other way once again. 14:20 to go in the first half. Hanlon has the basketball, launches from mid-range, and that shot is through to take to cut the deficit to 2. Big Brothers Big Sisters again working the other direction. It's Jeremy Tyler, and he pulls up from the free throw line and knocks it down. Patterson to inbound and Elevate to work from right to left, down 4. Xavier Turner with the basketball. He's closely guarded by Jeremy Tyler. And Turner feeds it inside to Carlisle. Carlisle off the glass, but the follow goes. And a 13-11 score now is where we sit from Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Big Brothers Big Sisters on the right wing. It's Hunter White with the basketball. And he now flashes inside. He's going to run out of room. Well contested by Xavier Turner. Good defense, better offense as Hunter White puts 2 more on the board for Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's Ron Patterson now crossing the timeline. Hands it off to Xavier Turner on the right wing. Turner whips it the other direction. Shane Hanlon beats the contest, works inside to the mid-range. Could not hit that time. And Big Brothers Big Sisters will continue to push the pace in the other direction. Hunter White steps back from 3, does not end up taking the shot, hands it off with a behind-the-back pass to Dominic Washington. Washington to Price. Price again launches from 3. That one off the back iron and rebounded by Carlisle. 12:50 left to go in the first. Carlisle racing downhill, slithering and snaking to the glass, puts the shot up and down with the foul call. It'll be 15-13 with the free throw on the way for Carlisle.
And Carlisle looks smooth in transition so far, Andrew, but one thing that stands out to me, it's rather silent in this gym, and I'm talking about on the court. Not a lot of talking on the defensive end. The offensives necessarily haven't been able to take too much advantage of that, at least in the half court, but in transition there hasn't been a lot of talking, not a lot of communication in transition.
And a fair amount of iso ball as well that comes paired with that on the offensive end. Certainly some passing, certainly some successful distribution of the basketball, but Shane Hanlon, a great example, multiple times. Once he gets the rock, he doesn't give it back up again as he takes a shot. Fortunately, those shots have been falling. Now a 1-point deficit here as Big Brothers Big Sisters looks to extend their first half lead. Around the perimeter is Jamison Smith, who gets inside. Again, slithers and snakes to the cup, up, under, and through. 17-14 now, the lead for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Xavier Turner crosses the timeline. On the left perimeter, he works inside, gives it up to Donovan Carlisle for poor spacing for Elevate. Carlisle takes it again in the corner, and that one's just off the back of the rim. Nobody quite to rebound as Shane Hanlon was right where Turner stood, and Price is going to get inside, put the shot through. We will have 2 and a foul.
Are they going to give him the foul in the shooting motion? If so, that's an and 1.
Certainly that's an and 1 in the NBA. I can tell you that watching the NBA Finals. And it seems to be that Josh Price will step up to the free throw line. 19-14 is the lead for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Tough move finishing through the contact. He took that bump. Still able to finish through that contact. Josh Price, good start so far to this evening's contest.
And great free throw shooting from Big Brothers Big Sisters as well. They've made each one of their and ones so far. 20-14, Xavier Turner working the other direction. Outside, flashing inside. Great shiftiness and a rebound off the glass. And that putback is good. Marcus Walton succeeding on the boards. Big Brothers Big Sisters going to launch a 3 from the right wing this time. Not quite there. Rebounded by Elevate. They push the pace the other direction, and working inside is going to be A successful right-hand laid-up from Trey Patterson, cousins of team captain Ron Patterson. And you can tell that his big body presence is going to make an impact in this one. Some quick threes from Big Brothers Big Sisters in the last couple possessions. It's allowed Xavier Turner to succeed off the miss. It's Trey Patterson on the right wing. Back to Patterson. To Turner. And now inside is going to be Mike Elliott now checking into the game with a left-hand layup. 20-20, all knotted up. Elevate Indy has worked their way back into this one. 9:40 to go in the first half. Here's Price. Backing down the defender, chiseling inside. He's stripped. And a whistle on the floor. They're going to call a foul on the possible steal. Tie ball game, 9:25 to go in the first.
Yeah, that's a situation where you got to send help if you're Elevate Indy. Price is too big, too strong there in the post. And it was well-timed help. You just got to play with your body. You got to cut off the driving in. If you're driving in or if you're digging, you're trying to help there, don't help with your hands, help with your body.
Jamison Smith to inbounds. He will get it inside to Price, but it's knocked out of bounds by the defender, and Big Brothers Big Sisters will reset. Marcus Walton, the one poking it out of bounds once again. Running clock here if you're just joining us for the City League. Elam ending, but a running clock here in the first half as Josh Price now working from the perimeter inside, rumbling to the rim, and that shot is airballed. And moving back the other way is Elevate Indy to take their first lead. It's Xavier Turner from deep. That one's just off the mark and successfully rebounded by Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's Price now working the other way, left to right. And he hands it off to Jamison Smith. Smith works inside, up under, and just off the mark, rebounded by Elevate. Elevate working the other direction. Here's Mike Elliott handling the basketball. And he's going to launch from a three. He certainly sold it as if he was going inside. Instead pulls up, and that one just rattles around the rim. 8:05 left to go in the first half of this one. And here's a deep three from Smith, and that one falls. Big Brothers Big Sisters will not relinquish the lead. Elevate Indy fails to take their first lead of the game here with 7:52 to go in the first. Xavier Turner working the other way from the outside, whips it to the corner. And there's another three ball. That's the response from Elevate. Big Brothers Big Sisters working left to right now, hoping for an opportunity to put points back on the board. Jerron Coleman now around the perimeter, looking for space, surveys his options. He hands it off to Price, and Price is going to elevate from three, and that one's just off the mark. Rebounded offensively. Jamison Smith now takes a three of his own. He's the hot hand. He's got two in a row, and 6 consecutive points for Big Brothers Big Sisters comes from Jamison Smith. Now it's Donovan Scott checking into the game, working on the left wing. Looks for a pass, finds one. It's Trey Patterson from the top of the key. That three off the mark from the big man, and now Josh Price working back the other direction. Josh Price hands it off, left corner. That one's just rattles out. The shot from Steve Miller, not quite there. Xavier Turner is going to turn the ball over, and it's Big Brothers Big Sisters working the other way. That pass just too strong. It's saved back in bounds, but it's Elevate Indy now with the transition opportunity, and Xavier Turner elevates for three. Tie ball game once again. Xavier Turner, graduate of Pike High School, knocks it down. Here's Jamison Smith now working back the other direction on the left wing. He elevates, fires. That one not quite there. Rebound Big Brothers Big Sisters. Another shot glancing off the backboard. And Elevate Indy now pushing the pace back the other direction. Right to left. Corner three is good. And Elevate Indy is going to take their first lead of the ball game here so far, and a timeout is called on the floor. 29-26, the lead for Elevate Indy. And Zach, this has been a fun one so far.
Yeah, back and forth, up and down, athleticism aplenty on both sides. And we've seen some great three-point shooting from Elevate Indy over the last couple of minutes. But I really like what Xavier Turner has done distributing the ball. You've mentioned his name a lot, but it's been a lot more in kind of a distributing role in the last couple of minutes, Andrew. He got a lot of looks early, maybe forced it a little bit early as far as shooting the ball is concerned. But as you mentioned, the Pike High School graduate played some college basketball at Ball State and at Marion. He's doing a good job distributing, getting the ball to his hot hand. He's driving, he's forcing the defense to collapse, and he's finding the open shooters when they do so.
And this Elevate Indy team, perhaps certainly as much as the next team, is here to play. We see Ron Bus Patterson, he tore his ACL 2 years ago in the middle of the City League, missed all of last season, and then off the couch wins the Dust Bowl just a couple weeks ago. Both him and Xavier Turner were on that team that won that tournament event in downtown Indianapolis, and now he's prepared to, in his words, off the couch, win the City League if possible, and they're certainly off to a quick start against Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's going to be Hunter White working the other direction, left to right for Big Brothers Big Sisters. He nearly loses control of the basketball. He's going to give it up as a result. Around the perimeter now, goes back into Hunter White down low. He runs out of space. Hunter White finds it again in the corner. This time he's way too open. That shot just rattling off the rim. Rebounded successfully by Trey Patterson. Elevate working back the other direction. Here's Scott with the mid-range. He pulls up. That one's just off the mark. And the rebound fumbled out of bounds. It will go back in the direction of Big Brothers Big Sisters. Here comes Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's Jamison Smith with the basketball now at the top of the key. Gives it up. Right wing three. That one's just off the mark. And rebound again, fumbled out of bounds. And it will go the other direction once again, this time in favor of Elevate. 29-26 here, the lead for Elevate. And Elevate now off the left corner. Working inside, yet another mid-range. That one glances off the rim. Big Brothers Big Sisters back in the other direction. Jamison Smith, he looks to drive inside, runs out of space, kicks it back out, and now inside is Dominic Washington with what are his first points of the ball game as the team captain of his team. Trey Patterson's going to take the basketball, nearly poked away by Dominic Washington. And it's sent inside for Elevate. And there's a whistle on the floor. They'll send it back the other direction as it falls out of bounds.
Elevate has the size advantage there. He's just got to take a little bit more time down there. He's trying to go too quick. He's not got the quickness advantage there against that smaller defender. He's got the size advantage, however.
Hunter White working the other way, marshaling the basketball for Big Brothers Big Sisters. 4 minutes left to go in the first half. And there is White losing control of it. He certainly walked, and they're going to call a jump ball. They're going to say he was pulled across the floor by a member of Elevate Indianapolis. That would be Mike Elliott. And so what would have been, in other circumstances, a clear travel is instead a jump ball. It'll be Big Brothers Big Sisters basketball here on the inbounds. That is Steve Miller prepared to pass the ball in. And some discussion amongst the players and officials. And now Miller will have the opportunity to feed White. White now working inside. Defense not quite spaced correctly, and White takes advantage of it. He gets inside and retakes the lead for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Xavier Turner looking to counter. He holds the basketball, closely guarded by White. And the Turner's going to get by him to the left side, not quite able to pull up for a mid-range shot, but he feeds it inside. An incredible pass from Turner, and Mike Elliott is up, under, and through to retake the lead for Elevate. And on the other end, great hustle from Xavier Turner. He's flying all over the place, Zach, and he knocks it out of bounds.
You know, Andrew, I mentioned the playmaking, the distributing, but that one was a gold star. You got to put a little bit of an asterisk next to that assist because that was spectacular along the baseline behind the back.
And then making the play defensively on the other end. The missed shot from Big Brothers Big Sisters is going to allow Elevate to have another opportunity. Turner is open on the left wing. He's calling for it. His teammates don't see him. Will it matter? Not quite, as Elevate manages to put points on the board once again. Big Brothers Big Sisters back the other way. Here's Jamison Smith at the top of the key. Smith relinquishes the basketball. Three ball is pulled and just off the mark. Xavier Turner working the other way. 1:55 to go in the first half. Turner flashes inside. Another assist opportunity, and he gets it as Elevate Indy continues to put points on the board. Quick response from Jamison Smith back in the other direction. Xavier Turner, deep three, left wing, just off. Rebounded by Elevate. Elevate looking for an opportunity. Here's Mike Elliott on the left wing. Finds space, works off the screen. Another great assist inside. Nothing quite there, and there's the three ball just off the mark from Elevate. It's now going to be Big Brothers Big Sisters with just over a minute to play in the first. 35-32 ball game. Jamison Smith commandeering the offense. He pulls from three. That one's airballed and falls out of bounds as Elevate Indy will work the other direction.
So far for Elevate, most of the successful plays offensively, just pretty much everything offensively, has come through Xavier Turner. One in orange, a guy to keep an eye on.
Absolute stars so far for Elevate and Ron Patterson's team. Xavier Turner back with the basketball, 35 seconds left to go. No shot clock here, and Xavier Turner is going to work inside. Now kick it back outside. That three ball is a bullseye from Donovan Carlisle. And there's a 6-point lead now for Elevate. 20 seconds. Very well could be the final possession of the first half. It's Hunter White at the top of the key, working inside, and a foul is called. And that one is going to be on Donovan Carlisle, the man just hitting the three on the other end. And this may be the last action here of the half as Patterson reaches for a timeout.
I think we might have a 1-on-1 situation here. So it looks like White's going to head to the free throw line for a 1-on-1 opportunity as the first half comes to a close.
And as you mentioned, that'll be all we see here in the first half. A 38-32 lead for now, and it will stay that way as White misses the 1-on-1 opportunity. So 38-32, a lead for Elevate Indy. Some conversation between the officials once again, and that is it, just 1-on-1. Elevate Indy taking a 6-point lead heading into halftime after Big Brothers Big Sisters had a strong start, but as you mentioned a bit earlier, Zach, it's Xavier Turner with all of the offense and all of the production for Elevate.
And it's one of those situations where, you know, he's maybe not blowing up the box score. He's not leading in scoring. The assist numbers are definitely there for Xavier Turner so far. But he's just running the offense. He's getting guys and getting the team into the sets necessary to succeed, whether that's making the extra pass around the perimeter, whether that's driving, but not driving all the way into the teeth of the defense, stopping it around the nail area and kicking it out to an open shooter. That's how Donovan Carlisle got that last three in that first half. So Elevate has been doing a good job spacing the floor, allowing Xavier Turner to work and letting him kind of take the reins of the offense, because right now Turner's doing a good job of getting the ball where it needs to go for Elevate.
Absolutely. In Elevate Indy here, as we have just under 3 minutes to go here in halftime with a 6-point lead. Again, off the couch is Ron Patterson, and it's been that acquisition of Xavier Turner that's really put him in position to have a successful game so far. Big Brothers Big Sisters on the other end, we haven't spoken much about them because Elevate Indy has been the ones doing all the flashy offense so far in this one, but this is a team formerly sponsored by Magnolia Green Grooming Company from last season. If you were watching along last summer, they had a 1 seed in the tournament. They fell in the semifinals to Mambo's Cheesesteak Grill, who would end up losing in the championship. So certainly a proven roster over there. Certainly a great group of guards that can really shoot the basketball. They just haven't quite had an opportunity to, because Elevate Indy has been certainly making this a full-court basketball game, playing well in transition, and Xavier Turner flying all over the place, forcing turnovers, getting to the basket, and again, some fantastic assists. He, like you said, Zach, he hasn't necessarily been blowing up the box score, but Xavier Turner has his fingerprints all over this game so far, and if Elevate Indy can hold on and close this one out, he's exactly why.
And I'm looking at least on the other side of things for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm looking for Josh Price. He's probably the leader for this team on the other end of the floor, the leader in purple. If you look at Josh Price, he averaged 19 points per game, 9 rebounds, was a first-team All-Great Lakes Valley Conference selection at Southern Indiana as a senior. This is one of the top guys playing in this league. There's a lot of talent in this league, a lot of guys that have played professionally overseas, that currently play professionally overseas. But Josh Price, 6'8", He's the biggest guy on the floor. He's the strongest guy on the floor, but he's got guard-like skills. He can extend the floor. He can shoot it from range. He's who I'm circling in the second half. I know it's just a 6-point advantage, but it felt like in that first half, Andrew, that Elevate kind of controlled things, specifically Xavier Turner controlled things. So I'm looking at Josh Price. He got the ball a couple of times in the high post, but I'm looking for him to kind of make a statement and come out here and say, you know, I'm that guy. I'm the guy that's going to lead this team. I'm going to lead Big Brothers, Big Sisters to a #1 seed. I'm going to kind of take over things here in the second half. I want to see if he can do that.
And him alongside Dominic Washington, the team captain, on the other side there, those are two big bodies that can move and they can stretch the floor. You mentioned Josh Price handling the basketball around the perimeter, launching from three. You're right. If Josh Price can get going all over the floor, absolutely, Big Brothers Big Sisters can turn this one in the other direction, and we could be talking about Josh Price to the volume that we have been talking about Xavier Turner. It's him, it's Dominic Washington, who's been very quiet in this game. It's a lot of that individual talent for Big Brothers Big Sisters that we want to see get going as we work into the second half. 38-32 is the lead for Elevate, but Big Brothers Big Sisters certainly within reach here in this one. We're going to try to see if those guards, those elite shooters, are going to be able to get going while the bigs down low who have the ability to score off the dribble and, of course, stretch the floor to the outside, if they're able to get this juggernaut of an offense moving. If they can, we're going to have a very different ball game against Elevate in Game 2 of Night 1.
And we talked about Xavier Turner. We talked about Josh Price. Also, there has to be an adjustment defensively. Xavier Turner has been able to get into the lane and get to his spots too frequently so far in this game. I think if Big Brothers Big Sisters can keep him out of the paint, keep him from penetrating and collapsing their defense, I think you can kind of slow down the offense as a whole for Elevate.
Second half is on the way. It is Big Brothers Big Sisters basketball. They are the team playing with a deficit. 20 minutes on the clock for now, but we will have an Elam ending take over at some point here in the second half. Here's Big Brothers Big Sisters working back the other direction. And around the perimeter. Top of the key now, off to Price. Price relinquishes the basketball. Working inside is Big Brothers Big Sisters, and that shot just off the mark, out of bounds. And some disputed conversation between the officials, but we're going to work the other direction for Elevate. Here's Xavier Turner dishing it out to Patterson. Patterson from three, just off the back iron, and that one's rebounded by Big Brothers Big Sisters. Working back the other direction is the purple jersey team. Donnell Minton. Josh Brewer, excuse me, with the basketball at the top of the key. And he just misses. It's Xavier Turner working the other direction, racing downhill, and the foul. The shot goes for Xavier Turner. Standout player in this game so far. We'll put two more on the board with a foul shot on the way.
And that's what Xavier Turner knows how to do. 5'9" is the Pike High School graduate. But if you saw right there, Andrew, he got his body into the defender. You can kind of take the shot blocker out of the equation. If you can initiate that contact, that's exactly what Turner did there. Also, the athleticism to hang and hit that shot too.
Great point, Zach, as Jeremy Tyler handles the basketball, working the other way, racing downhill. He gets the shot to fall with the foul. Jeremy Tyler, an incredible possession there. He's been flying up and down the floor as well, especially with the rock in his hands. He succeeds on another possession. Here comes Jeremy Tyler with foul shots. In a 41-34 game now, he will cut it to 41-35, completes the three-point play. Xavier Turner pushing the pace back the other direction. He races straight past Tyler, but his shot doesn't quite go. No foul called that time either. And it's Brewer now handing it off to Price, and it's mishandled out of bounds, and it'll be Elevate with the basketball once again, up 6. Here's Carlisle working across the timeline, flashes inside, runs out of space, looks for a shot, doesn't quite have one. It's Ron Patterson here at the top of the key. He's closely guarded by Price. Big bodies smashing into each other, but it's going to be a foul called on Price. Patterson will inbound. Here comes Patterson. And there is another whistle here on the floor. Mishap on the inbound. Patterson will have another opportunity. Patterson played some college ball at Syracuse. He hands it off to Carlisle. Carlisle dishes it out. Here's the opportunity down low, and just better defense there from Washington. And, oh, just off the mark, it's Josh Price. Nearly brought the house down. He's going to have a mid-range opportunity to compensate, and he knocks that one down. But nearly an architect's nightmare in Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Here's the turnover back the other way. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters with an opportunity. Numbers for them, and Josh Price now once again with another opportunity inside and multiple misses, but Josh Price is going to get the foul call down low. Elevate is in anguish at that one. 41-37, and foul shots on the way for Price.
And Andrew, what did we talk about at halftime? We talked about Josh Price getting more involved into this game. He's already made his presence known a little bit more defensively. Picked up that foul on Ron Patterson, but he's picked up the defensive intensity a little bit. But then on the offensive end, almost converting on what would have been the highlight of the evening so far on that alley-oop attempt. But he's getting the ball. He's playing strong around the basket. Again, he's one of the biggest guys, if not the biggest guys, on this court this evening. And he's got to make his presence felt. He's got to make his mark on this game. He can't let things slip away, and he's done a good job of that so far in the second half.
Absolutely. Shane Hanlon is back in the game for Elevate. He acts as another opportunity, another scoring threat for Xavier Turner to potentially distribute the ball to. Foul shot is good. 41-39 now is the lead for Elevate. Elevate working in the other direction. It's Donovan Carlisle now working at the top of the key against Josh Price. He's certainly quicker. He hands it off to Ron Patterson. And just off the mark is Patterson. He's struggling to find his three ball. But now numbers working the other direction. It's Hanlon on the left wing. Bullseye! Shane Hanlon with a big-time shot for Elevate in transition. They take a 5-point lead once again. Here's Josh Price down low. He's fouled. The shot doesn't fall. He will return to the free throw line once again. 15 minutes on the board for the second half.
And I know they just hit a three, Elevate Indy, but that last offensive possession prior to the three, Xavier Turner just sat in the corner the entire time. He's not really had the ball in his hands as much as he did in the first half, specifically in the half court. But if you're going to generate steals at half court and get a guy like Hanlon open threes, I think you'll take that pretty much all day long if you're Elevate Indy. But then again, on the other side, look who it is. It's Josh Price trying to get involved and get himself established in this game. He's been unable to finish around the basket, but he's earned himself a couple of opportunities at the free throw line already in the second half.
Absolutely, and without Xavier Turner, maybe he's a bit gassed after having certainly an active first half. They have Donovan Carlisle. They have Shane Hanlon on the floor to potentially put shots up. Ron Patterson hasn't quite been able to find his three ball as a big body. We'll see if he gets going. Shane Hanlon now takes the pass from Turner. He works inside to the mid-range, hands it off to Ron Patterson, and a golden shot from Patterson. He celebrates his first three of the game so far. 14 minutes on the board. 47-41 is the scoreline. And now a deep three taken from Brewer. Josh Brewer nonchalantly knocks down the three, cuts the game back to a 3-point lead for Elevate. Ron Patterson looks to respond from deep. That one rattles off, rebounded by Washington. He spins it outside, and another three from Big Brothers Big Sisters. That one off the mark. It would have tied it. Ron Patterson pushing the pace back the other way. Relinquishes the basketball. Working inside is Elevate Indy. And there will be the foul call on the drive, as Elevate will have an opportunity to extend it back to a 5-point lead through free throws.
Again, it's been an up-tempo second half, up and down. Whichever team can kind of take control of the pace and get more consistent looks at the rim, I think will have a good chance of winning this game. And checking back into the game now for Big Brothers Big Sisters is Hunter White. We saw him. He was a large presence in that first half, but we haven't seen him too often here in the second half. We'll see if he can get it going once again.
49-44, excuse me. Now the score from Bonner Fitness and Learning Center, near east side of Indianapolis. Big Brothers Big Sisters. With an opportunity here. Josh Price backing down, an inferior defender physically. He couldn't knock down the shot, however. It's rebounded by Brewer, and White working inside. Gets it to go, and the foul. Hansland confused at the call, but a great shot from Hunter White on the second chance opportunity.
Right on cue, Andrew. We were just talking about Hunter White reestablishing himself in this game, and that's how you do it. And again, he didn't score on the play. Josh Price got the opportunity, though, but it created subsequently an offensive rebound chance in this and one opportunity for his team. He's got to be active and demand the ball, especially on the block.
White completes the three-point play. Now a 2-point deficit. Xavier Turner working across the timeline at a slower tempo than before, and undoubtedly a foul that time. It was Jamison Smith with a fistful of jersey, and Elevate will inbound. It's going to be Ron Patterson, captain of this team, playing off the couch after an ACL tear. And the mid-range shot just off the mark from Marcus Walton. Brewer will slow it down, working across the timeline. He's closely guarded, nearly knocked out of bounds, but Jeremy Tyler is going to tie this ball game up, and we're back knotted at 49. Jeremy Tyler up, under, and through. It's now Xavier Turner in the other direction. He handles the basketball, makes a move on Brewer, kicks it out to Patterson. Patterson just off the back iron. Fighting for the rebound is Jamison Smith. He'll work the other way, pushing the pace. White has an open three. He takes it. Bullseye. And Big Brothers Big Sisters has a 52-49 lead. That's going to be cut short straight away as Elevate works the other direction, flying high and slamming it down for a 52-51 scoreline now. Slowing it down is Jamison Smith of Big Brothers Big Sisters, now with a 1-point lead for the first time in the second half. Smith working inside, makes a move on Walton, unable to convert. He kicks it back out to White. Hunter White plays off the screen in the mid-range, steps back for a three, doesn't take it, and turns the ball over, and it should be a wide-open slam for Elevate, and it is. They retake the lead off of the transition opportunity, and it's now Big Brothers Big Sisters working the other way. Here's Jeremy Tyler. He's had a great second half so far. Gives it off to Hunter White. White, top of the key. Here's a three-point opportunity from Smith. That one's off the back iron. It's rebounded by Walton. Walton finds Turner. Turner pushing the pace the other way. He relinquishes the basketball. Now on the drive is a miss from Elevate, and Josh Brewer works in the other direction. He's at the top of the key. Works inside to Jamison Smith. Now Price, open three from the corner, and it's just off the mark. Price struggling with his shot outside so far in this one. Turner working the other way. 1-point lead for Elevate. He works inside, kicks it out, and Elevate will knock down a three. It's 56-52, under 10 minutes left to go in game two of night one. Jeremy Tyler now working across the timeline. Guarded by Xavier Turner. Turner running out of energy. Jeremy Tyler has droves of it as he works inside off Marcus Walton. Skates past him on the right side, cuts the deficit now to 2. Elevate left to right. Looking for an opportunity is Elliott. He hands it off to Ron Patterson. Patterson rumbling to the rim and turns it over as he looked to kick it out, running out of space, and a foul in transition as Jamison Smith was almost surely going to pick up 2 points if he wasn't. .8:45 to play with an Elam ending pending. It's going to be Josh Brewer on the bench. It's going to be an inbound opportunity here. Jamison Smith will inbound. He hands it to Hunter White. White's at the top of the key, and he is fouled at the top of the key by Mike Elliott for Elevate, and they will reset.
Physical game, and Big Brothers Big Sisters is doing a good job of forcing contact and getting to the free throw line. We've seen a lot of free throws in this second half for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Here's Smith working inside, up, under, and good. Tie ball game once again. We're in for a great one, Zach, here at Bonner Fitness and Learning Center. Xavier Turner crosses the timeline, works to the free throw line, kicks it out to Elliott. Elliott for three. That one's off the mark, and he knew it. Rebounded by Tyler. Tyler pushing the pace right to left. Tyler, top of the key, going to slow it down now, survey his options as he commandeers the offense. Playing off the screen is Tyler. Hands it off to Smith in the corner. Smith back out to Tyler. Tyler into Smith, guarded by Turner. Hunter White has an open three from the top of the key. That one's just off the mark. Rebounded by Elevate in a tie ball game with just over 7 minutes left to go. Here's Elevate from three, off the mark once again. Jerby Tyler with the rebound. Tyler working in the other direction. And off the glass with a foul. Jerby Tyler successful again down low.
Yeah, just again pushing the pace. I think Big Brothers, Big Sisters, they've got an entire second team on the bench over there. They got 5 subs they can use, and they think they've kind of figured out what's working for them, and that's getting up tempo, playing against a defense that's not set, getting out and running off of misses, getting to the basket, and at least drawing some contact. We've seen a lot of free throws again in the second half for Big Brothers, Big Sisters. This time, though, Tyler able to convert. A chance at 3 now upcoming.
And he completes it. Again, great free throw shooting from Big Brothers Big Sisters throughout the game. 3-point lead for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Xavier Turner looks to flip the score in favor of his team, Elevate Indianapolis. He works to the free throw line, kicks it back out to Trey Patterson. Patterson from three. He falls, tumbling to the floor, but it's rebounded by Walton. Walton's going to whip it back into Patterson, but it just bounces off of Josh Price's lower leg and will reset inbound. Inbounding will be Elevate Indy. Trey Patterson with the 3-ball opportunity just falls off the mark. Here's Elevate now. With the basketball is Elliott. Elliott works into the mid-range. The push floater is just off and rebounded by Mike Elliott. He grabs his own after it's saved by Big Brothers Big Sisters from going out of bounds, and a foul is called. 59-56 is the score. Elevate Indy with an opportunity to cut it to 1. It's Mike Elliott, graduate of North Central High School, attended both Manchester University and William Penn University, playing basketball at both institutions. Elliott, 6'4", wearing jersey number 20, will sink the first free throw. 2-point deficit here, 5 minutes to go, but an Elam ending will be on the scoreboard soon. Of course, Elam ending indicating that there is a target score that the teams play to based on the amount of points already scored in the game heading into that point. It's Hunter White working right to left. He'll give it up to Jamison Smith. Smith crosses the timeline, 4:34 to go in the game for the moment. Smith on the right wing, closely guarded by Elliott. Smith will play off the screen. Looks to find Price, and he does. Price in the mid-range, backing down Elliott, the inferior defender, and the shot goes with the foul from Josh Price. And here's that dominance from Josh Price that we've been waiting to see. It was the story of Xavier Turner in the first, and now the story of Josh Price in the second.
This is what I called for a halftime, and it's been on the interior. He's got the biggest frame. He's the strongest player out there on the court. And his teammates have also done a good job of getting him the ball in advantageous positions. This has been a much, much, much better second half for Josh Price, and that's a large reason his team is out in front by 3.
He stands at the free throw line for a foul shot to potentially put his team up by 2 possessions. It's been a back-and-forth game, but certainly Elevate Indy won the first half off the back of Xavier Turner. And now the seconds is led by Josh Price as he takes a 62-58 lead for Big Brothers Big Sisters off of the free throw. 3:29 left to go in the game for the moment. Ron Patterson to inbound from the baseline. Finds Xavier Turner. Patterson communicating with his point guard. Here's Turner commandeering the offense, directing traffic, forces it inside to Ron Patterson, and Patterson backing down his defender. That may be a foul. It will be a jump ball, and certainly all ball, as Ron Patterson loses control of it, and Big Brothers Big Sisters will successfully cause a jump ball to be thrown.
Should note as well, Andrew, we have our target score of 71 as it stands right now.
So 62-58, the lead. Anybody's game, 71 is the point to go to. Big Brothers Big Sisters wins the tip, and it's launched back in bounds by Hunter White. And the shot from Josh Brewer is just off the rim, but that would have been an incredible second chance opportunity. There's still another as a turnover in the backcourt for Elevate allows Hunter White to reset the offense at the top of the key. Big Brothers Big Sisters with a second and third chance on this possession. It's Josh Price now backing down the defender, and it's just off the back iron for him. Xavier Turner working in the other direction, crossing the timeline. 71 is the target score, as you mentioned, Zach. Xavier Turner on the right wing faces Josh Price. And Turner, the mid-range, launches, and that one's just off the front of the rim. He would love to have that one back as Elevate looks to force themselves back into this game. A foul call comes in late, but a justified one on Jamison Smith's shots. And he will go to the line for two as his team is 9 points away from victory, the target score being 71. 2 foul shots on the way. Here comes Jamison Smith, preparing for free throw number 1. 2 shots, and the first one falls, so 8 points away now is where Big Brothers Big Sisters stands. (63-58). Elevate Indianapolis still very much in contention for the victory here in the first men's game of night 1. Second free throw falls. Here's Xavier Turner pushing the pace the other way. 64-58. Elevate fighting to stay in it. Turner gives it up to Patterson. Patterson, a deep three. Bang! It's Ron Patterson banging it home. 64-61 is now the deficit for Elevate. Hunter White working the other way, nearly lets it fall out of bounds. And a foul is called on Elevate on the floor as Hunter White was working towards the basket. And an on-the-floor foul here on Elevate. Elevate off the big-time Ron Patterson 3 cuts the deficit to 3 here. It's going to be Hunter White shooting 2 for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Again, target score 71. This Big Brothers Big Sisters team can smell victory as it's going to be 65 now, 6 points away.
And Andrew, this is like a classic game of 21 with your friends or at the park, wherever it is. As the game gets closer and as we near the Elam ending and we near that target score, the intensity will pick up even more.
Here's Xavier Turner exemplifying that point perfectly as he pushes the pace. A beautiful pass from Turner, reminiscent of what we have seen in the first half. It's now 66-63, and you remember it's a 3-point ball game in anybody's game down the stretch here. Jamison Smith crosses the timeline. He works from the left wing to the right wing, forces it inside to Josh Price. Josh Price off the contact, puts the shot through, and a foul is called as Ron Patterson laments just that. 68-63, 1 possession away is Big Brothers Big Sisters as they look to put this one out of reach of Elevate Indianapolis.
And you can see who both teams are entrusting with the ball. That was Josh Price off of a nice feed there, but a concerted effort for Big Brothers Big Sisters to try and get Price the ball, and then on the other end it's Xavier Turner, get him in some 2-man game with somebody else and let him try and make something happen.
And the foul shot goes. 2 points away is Big Brothers Big Sisters. 8 away is Elevate Indianapolis. An uphill battle to climb. And Patterson works inside. The shot goes and the foul. So Patterson will now retreat to the free throw line. 2 more points on the board for his team. 69-65, target score being 71. Patterson has an opportunity to put Elevate Indy at 66.
And how about this back and forth between Ron Patterson and Josh Price, 2 of the best players in this league.
Here's Hunter White after Patterson puts that foul shot through. 1 possession away. This could be the winning one for Big Brothers Big Sisters in a close match. It's Jamison Smith now at the top of the key. Josh Price stands at the right elbow. Smith working in ISO, gets to the mid-range, runs out of space, no room for a shot. Tyler finds Price, and Price nearly loses the basketball. The push shot from the free throw line just off, the putback just off, and Josh Price knocks it out of bounds. It's going to go the other direction. Nearly a game-winning shot on 3 different chances for Big Brothers Big Sisters, but it's Elevate Indy the other way.
Yeah, Elevate Indy probably got away with them. That's a decently wide open jump shot. A little off balance was Price, but that's a wide open mid-range jumper for a guy who will want that one back.
Xavier Turner needs points on this possession. He finds Ron Patterson for 3 to tie it, and that one's just off the front of the rim. He has another opportunity from the corner, and I'm sure Jamison Smith got a hand on that one, but Patterson not quite knocking it through. Josh Price for 3. That's game. Josh Price from the top of the key launches the game-winning three-pointer and puts Big Brothers Big Sisters up 1-0 on the season. An incredible start to the men's side of the City League 2025. Zach, that was phenomenal as Josh Price, your guy, knocks home the victory.
You know, I'm not going to take the credit for it there, Andrew, but I did